is Derek, and I'll be taking you through Microsoft Access. I'll be introducing you to what Microsoft Access does and then some of the cool features that it has. So let's quickly start. I have my Microsoft Access opened here. So I'm going to create a new blank database. So I just put my cursor on blank database and then I click on it. As soon as I click on it, this dialog box appears. I have to choose the location where I want to store the file. So I'll put it on a desktop and then I'll give it a name. Let me just name it as introduction. I already have a file on a desktop called introduction, so I'm going to replace it with that file. So you see that as soon as I click on it, it's going to tell me that I have a file. So I want to replace it, so I just click on yes and then it opens. So this is the interface of Microsoft Access. So first I want to explain to you what Microsoft Access is. It's an application that is used for data management. So unlike Excel, you can use Excel to also collect data by simply entering the information in the cells that you have. You can create tables and stuff in Excel. But Microsoft Access makes data collection easier because you can create user-friendly forms and reports that users can easily interact with. So Microsoft Access is basically for collecting data. You can use it for some form of analysis, but then its main purpose is to design data entry forms and then generate reports. So when you collect data using Microsoft Access, you can export it to Excel, Power BI, or any other data analysis software and then use it to do your analysis. So in here, I'm going to explain to you some of the features it has here. When you look here, you can see we have the file tab over here. When you click on it, it brings you to the back end of the software. It's just like it has some same features as Excel. You can see we have the home button, the new, open, info, save as, print, close, and all that. And then we also have the home button. Here you can see we have the view. We have the datasheet view and the design view. As we move along, you will know what these views do. You know what datasheet view does. You know what design view also does. And then we have the create tab. Here you can create. This is where you create your tables, your forms, your queries, your macros, and all that. We have an external data tab where it allows you to import or export data from other sources into Microsoft and out of Microsoft Access. And then we also have the data tools. Here, when you have a problem, for the compact and repair, when you have a problem with your database, this is where you come to repair it. We have Visual Basic, which is VBA. When you create a macro and you want to run it, you have it here. And then we have the relationship ribbon over here. This is used to create relationship between tables. When you create tables, you have unique IDs in them, so you link them together over here. This is where you create your relationship between the tables that you have created. We have so many more. We have SharePoint, we have add-ins. We will be looking at some of these things as we move along. And then we have the tables field. Yes, here we also have the view here again. We have some data types here. And then yes, so basically some of these ribbons repeat themselves in other tabs, but then we will get to know what they do as we move along. So the first thing we are going to do is learn how to create a table. And you remember I said that forms, tables, reports, and macros are created in the create tab. So you click on create tab and then you come to table design. When you come to table design, you just click on it like that, and then it takes you to the design view. Now we have 3 views in Microsoft Access. Let me close this default table that Microsoft Access gave me. So we have 3 views in Microsoft Access. We have the datasheet view, the design view, and the layout view. Now you don't see the layout view here. The layout view will appear when we create our forms. So the datasheet view is where you see or you input your data. Now before you input your data, you have to create some fields. So the fields are, if we were in Excel, I'll say the fields are the column heads. So the column heads, the titles that you use, those are the fields. So when I come here, let's say I want to create a customer table. First, you have to go to the design view to create those column heads. Like let me show you. So here I'll see when I want to create a customer table, I'll just first I need the customer ID. Now when you type the field name, you have to select a data type. The data type specifies or tells the software what the field is. So is it what are you going to enter in the field? Are you going to enter numbers? Are you going to enter words? You understand? So here we are going to select auto number. Auto number means we want this customer ID to be auto generated. So this means we will not type anything in there. We just leave it like that, and then the software itself will be generating numbers for us from 1 to infinity. So just be counting 1, 2, 3 like that. So we just put it on auto number, and then you take the customer name. So we take the customer name, and then when we take the customer name can be a short text, because I mean, how long can a name be? So we keep it on a short text, and then we will take maybe the customer address. That one will also be a short text, and then we will take the customer phone number. Now the customer phone number should be a number, so we click on this drop down menu here, and then we choose a number like that. Now let me just limit myself to these 4 fields. So now that we have created these 4 fields, we just have to right click on our table and then click on save. When we click on save, what do we want to save our table as? What is the name that we want to give to our table? This is the customer table. So once you write this, you just click on OK, and then let's click on yes. So once you click on yes, the table has been saved. So you remember I told you that we have, when you are creating tables, you have 2 views, the data sheet and the design view. So in the design view here, we have created the fields that we want. So if you want to really look at how the table is going to look like, you go to the datasheet view. So when you come to the datasheet view and you click on it, you see this is how the table looks like. So you can see we have the customer ID field here. You are seeing this new here. Whenever you see this new enclosed in a bracket for a particular field, it means that field is auto generated. Now this is our customer name. This is our customer name field. This is our customer address field, and this is our customer phone number field. So this is how it looks like. So these are the headers. These are the headers. These these are your headers. All of these are your headers, and this is where the information goes. So let me just quickly enter something here. So because my name is Derek, I'm just going to put Derek here, and then my address is going to be Ghana. So my address is Ghana, and then my phone number is 0501308957. Yes, so this is it. Now in Microsoft Access, as soon as you start typing, let me just delete this. Let me just delete this. Zero 0501308957. Now in Microsoft Access, when you start typing, you're going to see this icon over here. You see this pencil like icon. Once you see that over there, it means whatever you are typing has not been saved. So when you are done typing, you can just hit on the tab key, and then it will send you to, this is the last field. So when you hit on the tab key, it is going to send you to the next line. You see that? And now the pencil is gone. So since we are not seeing that pencil icon anymore, it means our data has been saved. So there's another way of saving it. So when I add, let me add another 0. You see the pencil icon comes again. It means the new 0 that I added has not been saved. So you can also, aside from hitting on the tab key, you can also click on the pencil icon like this. Okay, we have an error. It says I'm here. Okay, so I think I know where the mistake is coming from. Okay, let me just save it. Now it has saved. I think I entered O instead of 0 in the phone number column. That is why it didn't save, because O is a letter and the customer phone number failed. This failed. We chose a number for it, if you remember, in the design view. So if you try to enter a number, or if you try to enter a word in a field whose data type is numeric or number, the system will not allow you to do that. Okay, so this is our table that we have created. This is how tables are created. Now you may want to create another table for your sales transaction. So let's say, so you come to create again, you come to design view, and then here we are going to enter our transaction ID, and then we choose auto number because we want the transaction IDs to be auto generated. Then you enter, let's say, product name. The product name will be a short text, and then we want the amount, and then let's see, what do we want again? So we want the amount of the product and then the total amount. So the amount column should not be a short text, but rather it should be currency. So you choose currency, and then you move here. The total amount is going to multiply. Sorry, let's delete this this column, and we should input the quantity field here, and then the quantity field will be a number. Then we come here and then enter the total amount. Total amount will be a currency, so you can just press on C. As soon as you type C, it will predict or try to auto suggest the data type for you. Then you hit the tab key to go to the next line. So I think this is okay. So we press Ctrl S, and then we name this as transaction table, and then we click on what? Okay. So then we click on yes. Now as soon as we are done with creating the fields or the headers, what do we want to do? We want to go to the design view. We want to go to the design view and look at how our table is looking like. So we just click on view here, and then we go to the data sheet view, because that is where we are supposed to go, and then look at how our table looks like. So this is how our table looks like. This is our transaction ID field, and as I said, whenever you see a new like this in a field, it means this field is auto generated, so you are not allowed to enter anything here. This is the product name field, the amount. You see, because we choose currency, that is why we are seeing 0.00 as the default value here. We also have the quantity field, because we choose number, that is why we are seeing 0 here. Then we have the total amount. So as we move forward, I'll show you how to automatically make this field automatic. So as soon as the user enters the amount and the quantity, it will multiply the quantity by the amount automatically and put the total price here. I'll show you. This is just an introduction, so we are not really going to go much into that for today. Now I have two tables here, so now I'm going to create a form based on one. So I'll just choose the customer table. So for you to create a form, just click on the table once, then once again go to the create tab, then come to the forms ribbon, forms here, then choose form wizard. When you click on form wizard, this window will appear showing you all the fields in the customer table. Now if you don't want the customer table, you are allowed to change it, so you can just click on this drop down button and change it to say transaction, but we are going to stick with the customer table. So we select the customer table, and then we want all these fields here. So instead of clicking here to move them one by one, we can simply click on this icon, this forward arrow icon. We just click on it once and it moves everything. Now if we realize now we don't need, let's say we don't need a customer name, we just click on customer name and then we click here to bring it back, but this time we need it, so we are going to add it. But if you also want to move all of this back here, we can just click here and need to move it back, click here, bring it back, and then we click next. So it wants to know the view that you want to see it. So we have the columnar, the tabular, the data sheet, and the justified. The columnar means it's going to show you your fields in a form. So I mean, we will look at these the various views that we have here one by one. So first, let's just choose columnar. Move to the next page. Here, what do you want to name your form? So I'll just change the table here to form, and then I'll click on finish. So when I click on finish, it has to load, and then yes. So this is how the columnar view looks like. It gives you your information in a form like view. So you can see your customer ID here. This is where you enter customer ID, customer name, this is the customer field, this is the customer address, this is the customer phone number. This is how the columnar view looks like. Now if you don't like how these have been arranged. I mean, you can see this one is longer than this one. This field is also longer than this one. If you don't like it and you want to rearrange it, or customize it a little bit, you can just, you see, this is the customer form. So you just come here, right click, and then you can see that because we have created a form, the layout view is now present. When we were creating a table, we couldn't find it, but here it is. We will talk more about the layout view in other videos. So we want to adjust our form because we don't like how it looks, so we just click on design view, and then in here you can see that this is the form header, the name of the form, customer form. So you can drag this one down a little bit to see the end of the header here. So this is the customer form. These are our labels, the labels for the various fields. So we have the customer ID, the customer name, everything here, and this is it. The space for this header, I mean, we have a lot of space here, so we just click on this and then we can drag it up a little bit. We shift it to the middle. Let's try and shift it to the middle, and then send this one up. So we take this one up a little bit and we take it up here. Okay, so we want all these to be of the same size, right? So we select everything. You saw how I selected it, right? You just put your cursor here, or your pointer here. You double click, hold and drag down to select everything. Then you right click. When you right click, you come to size. So when you come to size, you want to select the widest. The widest means we want the customer ID and the customer phone number to be as long as these two. So let me just select again, right click, come to size. Let's see, we select widest. So now you can see that the customer ID and the customer phone number are both the same length, but they are not of the same height. The customer name and the customer address have bigger fields than the customer ID and the customer phone number. So I want the customer name and the customer address to be of the same size as the customer ID and the customer phone number. So I just right click again, I come to size, and then I choose shortest. So now you can see that all the fields are of the same size. You can see that. Now you can see that this color does not look dark, it looks more grayish, so we want it to be dark. So we just select this like this. We come to our format tab here, then we come here to the fonts part, click here, choose black. Then we want to bold in our label, so we click bold. Then we come here, select everything. We come to the format. Okay, we're already in the format tab, so we want this one to also be dark, but we don't want to bold in it. Then we also click on our form header. We click on dark, but we want to bold in it. And then we want to center align. So these are the, if you want to left align, center, right align. So we want to center align like that. So now everything is looking nice here. I mean, as we move forward, we'll be creating much nicer forms than this one, but this is just an introduction. So, and I mean, this one even looks good, right? So we just, now let's go back and look at how this form looks like. So do you remember what view you are supposed to view this? Now when we're creating tables, we had data sheet and design. So if you want to look at how your table, if you want to view or look at how your table looks like, then for tables you go to datasheet view, but for forms you go to form view. So you click on form view like this, and this is how our form looks like. Nice form. Yes, but you can see that the alignments are different. The customer ID is on the right side, it's right aligned. The customer name left aligned, customer address left aligned, customer phone number right aligned. We don't want this. So let's head back to the design view like this. Click on design view, and then when you click on the design view, we are going to make sure that all of them align the same. So we select this. You remember how to select, right? You put your cursor here, you double click, hold and drag down, and then you select. And then we can come back to the format tab here. Then we come here and we choose left align. We want everything to be on the left, so we choose left align. Now you cannot see the effect here because this is where you do your designs. This is the back end. So we go back here, right click, choose form view, and now you can see everything is left aligned. Isn't it wonderful? Okay, now we have created our first form. I'm going to leave the creation of the second form, which is the transaction table, to you to do that. So from here I am just going to move straight to creating a report. So when I'm done creating the report, then I'll explain some other features to you, and then this will be the first part of our tutorial. So with the transaction table, when you are watching this video, you can just pause it and then try to create your own form, like the way we created the customer table form. So let me just quickly run you through the process. Maybe you might need some small reminder. So this is how we created the customer form. We came to the create tab, clicked on create, but before you do that, you make sure that the table that you want to create the form of is selected. So here we have our customer table selected, but if you want to create a form based on the transaction table, you select the transaction table, come to the create tab here, then come to form wizard. So you click on form wizard, this dialog box will appear. You click here, select everything, you click next, columnar, click next, change the name to transaction form, and then you can just finish. But I'm not going to create it for you. I want you to create it yourself, and then make sure all the fields are of the same length and height, and everything has been aligned left. Now let's go ahead and create a report of this customer form. So same step, select the customer form here as I have selected, move to the create tab here, move to the reports ribbon. You can see reports here, select report wizard like that. Then when this dialog box appears, we are using the customer table, so we move everything here, click next, click next, click next. We want our form to be in a tabular form. So this here we are going to look at how the tabular view looks like in a form. So we are going to keep it at tabular. Click next, and then let's change the name to customer report, and then we click finish. So this is how the tabular form looks like. So it will list the headings here, customer ID, customer name, customer address, and then it will show you all the entries that you have made. But so far we have only made one entry, and you can see this report is not looking very good because the customer ID, some parts of I think the C is missing, and the arrangement here is not nice. So what do? we go back to the design view. Now for a report, we have an additional view called the print preview. Reports are mainly designed for printing, you understand? So before you print, you want to make sure that your report looks nice. So this is where you come to make sure that your report looks nice before you print. But we are not going to talk about that today. So let's go to our design view. This is how the design view for the report looks like. Now you can see here that I think this field is too small for the name, so you just click on it. You put your pointer here. As soon as you put it here, it will change, and then you drag a little bit. See that? Nice. Then we come here. You can see that the phone number, some part of the phone number is also missing, but this customer address field is too long. So just select this one, come down, hold down the control, select this one, then put your cursor here and then drag. See that? Let's do same for this one. Click on this one, come down, control, click here, then drag like that. See customer phone number. Now everything is showing perfectly. Yes, but you can still see, okay, this one needs to be adjusted. Let's just click here and then drag like that. Nice. So we want these ones to be center aligned, because you can see that here they are left aligned. So click on this, control, click on that, control, click on this, control, click on this, and come down, control, click this, control, click this, control, click this, control, click this. Then come to the format tab here. Then you come here, we want it to be center aligned, so we click on center. So you see, as you clicked on center, didn't work because some of them had different alignment. So we click on it again until we see that everything is in the center. Now we want, this doesn't look dark, so we want it to be dark, but then we only want the headers to be boldened, not the data itself. This portion that you are seeing here are the headers, and then the second portion here is where your data will appear. So we want to deselect all of them. So you can just click on any space here and everything goes, and then you put your cursor here. So you see, you put the cursor here, then you click. As soon as you click, it runs through and select everything. You see how quick that is. So let me do that again. You put your cursor here and you click, and then it runs through and selects everything. We want to bolden it, so we click on bold. See that? Nice. Now we want to bring the header. To the middle. So we bring it to the middle like that. We want to bolden the header, so we bolden it, and then we make it dark. And then after it's dark, we want to go and look at how our report looks like. So we right click here, we click on reports view like that, and now you can see our report is looking nice, isn't it? It's looking very nice. This is our customer ID, this is our customer name, this is our customer product, this is our customer phone number. So this report will show you all the customers that you have recorded in your table. So far we have recorded only one, Derek, which is Derek. That is why we are seeing this. If you enter another one, it will appear here. It will keep going down like that. So if your manager walks in and says he wants to know, or he wants a list of all customers that we have, this is the report that you're going to print. So remember, I introduced you to the print preview, right? As soon as you click on print preview, it will show you how your report will look like when printed. So this is how our report will look like when we print it on a paper, to show us all the field names and then the customers that we have. You see, that's very nice. So let's move back to the design, the reports view. Yes. So what have we learned today? We have learned how to create tables, and then forms and customer reports. We learned that when we are creating tables, first we have to move to the design view. Sorry, let me just close everything that I have here. So I just come here, I right click, and you choose close all. If you choose close, it will only close the transaction table. But if you click close all, it's going to ask you to first save your changes that we made in the report, changes that we made in the transaction table, changes that we made in the customer table. So we saved everything now. So let's go to the design view. So if you want to go to the design view, you can just click on the table, right click, and then choose design view. So as soon as you choose design view like this is your design view. You have the customer ID, which is auto number, so it will be automatically generated. You don't have to type the numbers in there. We have the customer name, which is a short text, because the customer name, it's not that long. We have the customer address, which is also a short text, and then we have the customer phone number, which is the phone number or a number. Yes, so you can see that we have other fields here, like date or time. So for date or time, if you want to record the date or time that a transaction took place, this is the data type that you would choose. So we can just go back to our transaction table here, right click, go to design view, and then we want to create a transaction date somewhere here. We don't want to put it at the last button. So how do we do it? We want to put it on top of this. So we click here. See that when you put the cursor here, let me do it again. When you put the cursor here, it changes to a forward arrow. Then you click to select the entire column or the entire row. Then you come here, you choose insert rows, click on that, and it is set another row on top. So here we see date of transaction. Then we move here, and then we select date or time, like that. So as soon as you select date or time, this field has been created. Now we want this field to automatically use the date on our laptop or whatever computer we are using. So how do we do that? We come here, you can see here that we have some fields over here. So we come to the default value here, you click here, and then you type date, open bracket, close bracket. See that? Come to the default value, come to the 8th field here, click date, open bracket, close bracket. Now we can move here. Let's click here. As soon as we click here, okay, everything is fine. Now let's come back here, right click, and go to data sheet view. We have to save our table, so we save. As soon as you save, you can see that even though we have not entered anything in a transaction table, this date has automatically appeared because of the date function that we entered in the default value. So when you get here, you don't have to enter the date because it has already used the system date. It has already picked the system date. So unless you don't want this date, then you can edit it. But if you want it, you leave it like that. You enter the product name, the amount, the quantity, and then the total amount. So this is how tables, forms, and reports are created. This is just the basics. Now we can do more designs, add more functions, add more buttons and stuff to this form that we have right here. Now let me just open our form. So before you can open the form, you need to close all the tables. So we close everything. Let's just save and close it, and then let's open our form. So this is our form. Oh, it looks like the changes that we made were not saved. That is why we are seeing this. The lengths and everything should be the equal. Yes, so it looks like the changes were not saved, but no problem. You can just do it yourself. You can just do it and then save. So as we move forward, we will learn how to add buttons to this form to control the form and make it look nicer. We will be learning that in subsequent videos that I will be dropping. So stay in touch, and then let me know what you think of this tutorial. If you have any question, you can ask it in the group. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.